Happy Friday. Today we're going to work on converting metric units of mass. So a little bit easier because it's got just two measurements. We've got milligram, gram, and kilogram. A milligram is about the weight of a breadcrumb. A gram is about the weight of a paperclip. And then a kilogram is about the weight of a loaf of bread. So 1 gram is equal to 1,000 milligrams. So we would have, if you took 1,000 breadcrumbs, and I'll put them on your hand, it would be about 1 gram. 1,000 grams is equal to 1 kilogram. So you put 1,000 paper clips together, it feels like 1 gram. So those are the measurements that you're going to use. The other thing I wanted to show you guys, talk to you guys about, was multiplying with the power of 10 because that's on the lesson today. So I will put something like this. I did notice looking at this should be a multiplication sign. But the important thing to know is when we're multiplying by the powers of 10, you move the decimal point to the right for each of the power of 10. So that means it gets bigger. So multiply this by 10. This used to be 72 and 64 hundredths. If you times it by 10, it now becomes 726 and 4/10. So the decimal point moves one spot over to make it a bigger number. One spot to the right. This is times 10 to the second power, which means 100. So you're moving it over 2 place values to the right. So it goes from 72 to 7,264. So the 7 goes from the tens place to the thousands place. So with division, when you're dividing, the only difference is now your decimal point is going to the left. So it's going this way because you're dividing, so it's making the number smaller. So here we've got 72. You divide it by 10. Now you end up with 7 as your whole number. So all the numbers stay the same because you're dividing by 1 and a 0. So only thing that happens is you move the decimal. Down here, divide it by 10 to the second power. So that means there's 2 zeros. So you take this decimal point and you're moving it to the left 2 place values. So it ends up right here. All right, so a couple practice problems. So this one is 7,000 milligrams, and you're changing it into grams. So you put 7,000 over 1. And you're trying to figure out how many grams is in a milligram. There is 1 in 1 gram. There is 1,000 milligrams. So if you look at the chart next to me, it's 1,000. And maybe some of you guys don't need to do this step, and that's okay. Just showing you guys if you're still unsure. So then if you're going to do 7,000 times 1, and 1 times 1,000 equals 7,000 over 1,000. Or you can have all these zeros can cancel each other out, and then you have 7 over 1. So this is really 7,000 divided by 1,000 equals 7. So this one's 7. This is the one I really wanted to get to. So this one is 4 and 7/10. And we're trying to go from kilograms to grams. And if we have like 4 and 7/10 loaves of bread, let's say, so we have 4 loaves of bread and almost another 5th one. We're going to be moving it into grams. So we're going to be multiplying it by 1,000. So in order to multiply this one by 1,000, we have 3 zeros. So that means multiplying by 1,000 has 3 zeros, which means our number is going to get bigger by 3 place values. The only way it's going to get bigger is if we move our decimal point to the right. So we're going to take this decimal point and move it to the right. First thing, you can always add zeros to the end of it. So if we're going to move it 3 place values to the right to make it bigger, my decimal point is going to end up over here. which means my answer is 4,700. So same thing with number 4. It's kilograms to grams, so that means we're multiplying it by 1,000. And so we're going to start with 8.3. We're going to move it to the right to make it bigger because we're multiplying it. 3 place values because it's times 1,000. So 8. And then you would just move it 1. You need to add a 0. Another 0. 2, 3. So my decimal point ends up over here. So that answer is 8,300. Okay, so please reach out to me if you need more than that. I just wanted to go over the decimal places because it's the first time you're seeing multiplying with decimals, besides Splash Math. All right, hope you guys have a great weekend. You hopefully can relax. You guys deserve it after this week, and I'll talk to you soon.